Thanks for joining us for 9 News at noon on this Monday. I'm Sam Shocker. The bear activity is a lot of people talking here in Colorado, including people who grew up here. It's causing concerns since it's almost time for them to really bulk up for the winter. One of the animals got closer to downtown Denver yesterday, and a different one attacked a man in Jefferson County. First, the attack. CPW says around 8 o'clock Friday night, a fisherman in his 60s was walking toward the North Fork Trail when in the parking lot there, when a bear knocked him to the ground. It then bit him on his legs. The man's friends were able to scare the bear away. He did get to a hospital. CPW says he wasn't carrying any fish with him at the time of the attack. Crews tracked down the bear and euthanized it early the next morning. This was the fourth attack in just over a week. And then yesterday, check out that image right there. You can see his little head poking out. A bear was found in a tree at Louisiana and Pennsylvania. That's the heart of Denver, and miles, oh my goodness, from the mountains. This one wasn't posing an immediate threat, but state wildlife officials had to get the approximately 100-pound male bear back where he belongs. They tranquilized him, loaded him up with some help from DPD, and shared video of him being released in his natural environment. I love that. 9 News photojournalist Foster Gaines spoke with the people that found the bear before police were called in.
We're in Platt Park, Louisiana and Pennsylvania, like 8 in the morning, and I got a call from my neighbor across the street. They told me that we had a bear in our tree, and I didn't believe it. I was just like, I guess I said, no way, it's a big raccoon. And then I got up, went up onto my porch, and it was a big bear. It's a bear in the tree. I also called Faye, and
she was like, there's a bear in the tree. And I was like, what? Let me get dressed, I'm coming out. It was in this cottonwood tree.
So in the real big tree right here, it found itself a good spot to be comfortable. So because it's Sunday morning, that means that the farmer's market was starting. And so we were like, there's about to be a lot of people coming down here. We were just trying to get things blocked off. The city had left a couple road closed signs out. I was like, well, no one's working. Let's grab those and block off the streets and the sidewalks at least.
And at that point, like, the market was in full swing.
Which is the last thing you want. You've got little kids, you got their dogs, you've got the smell of food. Yeah. Like right there, it's like this trifecta that just doesn't look good for a bear to get out of the situation easily.
Well, the people that came were Parks and Wildlife.
So they're just waiting to see where he's gonna fall out of the tree.
Oh.
Those guys did such a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, they really mitigated like the situation.
Yeah,
you know, he'll be okay. They tagged him. I'll be looking for a bear with an ear tag, I guess.
CPW says this year it's recorded more than 6,100 bear-related incidents. This time last year, there were 3,100. That's nearly a 97% increase. There were 5,200 for the whole of 2025. For tips on how to stay safe, you can head to our website, 9news.com, where we've been covering the latest sightings and attacks. And as we've been saying, the drought has depleted much of the bear's food sources, so we all can use more rain. At least this week is full of thunderstorm chances. So join me now with more. Chris Bianchi with our 9 News Weather Impact team. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, a pretty good chance that a lot of you will see a storm this week. Storm odds not overwhelmingly high each individual day, but you add them up and there's a pretty good chance that you'll see at least one storm this week. We'll get into detail on that. Start things off right now. Starting to see a few of those high-level clouds bubble on up over the foothills and the mountains. We'll see those storms develop and move down into the metro area over the next few hours. We're mostly in the 80s and 90s Eastern Plains. 70s for the most part in the high country on this Monday now afternoon on this August the 24th. Today we'll top out at 92, so it's going to be our 56th day so far this year at or above 90. But those storms will be perhaps impactful, especially if you got a flight or you're doing some boating today with some dry microbursts possible. Temps topping out in the 90s, but there is a level 1 risk here in dark green for some gusty 50-plus mile-an-hour winds. 2 to 8 p.m. the primary time window for those storms. Radar's quiet at the moment. That will change over the next few hours with, again, some of these storms mostly producing 50 to 60 mile-an-hour winds, lightning, also some brief downpours possible with some of these storms as well. Then those storms will clear on out. Tomorrow, storms mostly in southern Colorado, but it's Wednesday, which has the highest storm odds of the week. We'll get into detail on that Wednesday forecast and the full 7-day outlook in just a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. It's been weeks, but firefighters are still working to fully put out the Aspen Acres fire that started in late June. 77% of it's contained, but it's burned 102,000 acres, which is nearly 160 square miles. It's the 7th largest wildfire in state history. They have to repair fire lines and find and put out remaining heat resources. Recent heavy rains in the burn scar have led to damaging flooding and caused the death of a man who was swept away last weekend. There's a little more containment over at the Gold Mountain fire burning near Ouray. 87% of that is the nearly 40,000 acres of that fire is under control. And those two fires have destroyed more than 300 homes. It takes a lot of money and resources to recover. And Governor Polis says he is requesting federal aid to help. Pueblo County officials say they're running low on money for free cleanup, like the dumpsters that they've been providing, landfill services. The county's been picking up the bill for those services for the past 2 months, and it's cost them more than $250,000. County officials say they can only offer services until August 31st, even though the recovery effort will likely take years. In the federal government, if the federal government does okay the governor's request for a major disaster declaration, it would open the door for federal funds to go toward the recovery in Pueblo, Custer, and Ouray counties. But President Trump's administration denied Colorado's last 2 requests for aid. Those were for the Lee and Elk wildfires on the western slope last summer, along with flooding in southwestern Colorado. A state of emergency is growing in Nevada as firefighters race to contain a rapidly expanding wildfire near Reno. The Hawk Fire exploded in size over the weekend, destroying homes and forcing more than 40,000 people to evacuate. Authorities say it was human-caused, and an investigation is ongoing. If you're driving around Denver and other parts of Colorado with expired license plates or temporary tags, there's a better chance this week that you could be caught. All week, Denver police and other law enforcement agencies around the metro will specifically be looking for stickers and tags that are expired. If you get pulled over in Denver, you'll face a $95 fine on top of having to pay those overdue registration tags fees. In Aurora, the fines range from $15 to $75 plus the surcharges for vehicle registration violations.